Hi, everyone. I'm going to present this lesson plan. It is focusing in the script writing lesson, right? This is the script writing lesson with some important activities. We had a time, 20 minutes, for this plan. The idea is, we can, especially students, they can develop the writing skills, especially using good good descriptions. Yeah, probably they can be very creative during these activities, right? Now we have the lesson objectives. We have three lesson objectives. The first one is learn to use adjectives in descriptive writing. In that case, the first moment, I think it's very important to separate or make a difference, right? The nouns and adjectives, probably when they can make sentences, they can see like what the adjective modifies, right? The idea, right? In positive and negative way, I think, right? This is very important in that case for the reading. Second one, we had practice connecting ideas. That is good because you can, expanding more the sentences, like using a good vocabulary also. For this connector, we have and with because, right? Okay, and probably take that together, right? One idea with second idea, and because probably focus more on the reasons, right? I think it's great, this objective. Now the last, definitely we need to make do the short descriptive paragraph. I think previously making some simple examples or sentences, right? This is the idea. Now we have the first part, the class, the lesson plan is the warm-up activity. In this first part, I will invite the student to see some pictures, right? They can see, right, the pictures. I'm going to ask them, what do you see on the picture, right? Can you describe it in one word? For example, we can see this first picture, right? Some students can say, I can see some many people there on the street. I think, right? Probably using, adjectives in the second one, for example, oh, this picture looks very, very good, or it's beautiful, or it's very nice, something like that, right? That is interesting activity in the first part, probably using adjectives, describing some pictures there, right? They can more imagine some ideas in their mind in order to express themselves, ideas. Next, we have the model sentence expansion. In that case, student can imagine the part, for example, in the mind, right? In their mind. We have the first structure, the part is green, right? Part is green, right? But probably invite them to adding more, right? Adjectives. What do you think about only the part is green? Or probably look at please, some idea can make a good complement in this structure. For example, the park is green and peaceful, right? With two trees and colorful flowers, right? Something like that, right? In that case, this is very important. The student can express, more ideas using connectors, probably. Now we have, after that, I will invite them to work in pairs, use the word bank. Probably we have some, from the one math previous activity. We have some word bank of vocabulary, right? To write 3 or 4 sentences. But it's good, this activity, because they can share ideas in order to present the best example, right? In that case, the instruction is include the adjectives or connectors. I think that is the idea for this activity. Invite to work, in collective activity, probably through 2 or 3 people there. They can, listen to the opinions, and probably they can suggest some ideas for representing, the best exercise. I think. Now we have, in that case, we had the independent task, right? In this activity, probably they can, they can individually write a descriptive paragraph. Probably the instruction is 4 or 5 sentences, right? They can choose, a beach, market, or classroom, right? Probably student can feel comfortable using this idea classroom in order to, write some ideas using descriptions, sentences there. And for this activity, they will write at least 3 adjectives and 2 connectors, right? Remember before, they work, some connectors like and because, right? And this is, I think, is probably the products about this plan, right? Because in that case, a student can make a paragraph, right, in a good way, and probably they can express themselves, being very creative, imaginary during this activity, I think. And for the last part of this lesson plan, we have the closing, right? Probably it's good the student can share ideas, in this, through this activity, shares sentences, a paragraph with a good tone, reading this activity for everyone. Review key adjectives and connectors. So this is very important. The teacher can make a good feedback during this last activity, expressing, making the difference between right, or probably when you use a simple sentence, or when you use the connectors, adding more information, for example, and or because, probably because invite to opinion, right? Give opinion about, right, the idea. In that case, I think it's very important having a good feedback, or make a good feedback for the student. I think the homework, probably revise, again the paragraph, and add 2 more sentences, I think, right? In that case, student can practice more at house, and probably they can present, again the next class, and the teacher can review, right, in a good way this activity, and probably clarify some details in the next class, I think. For me, is the last, I have to this activity can, support, 10 to 20 students for making, or master these kinds of writing, right? Especially describing ideas, pictures. Probably they need to use the five sense, in general, and they can make more creative during these activities, I think, right? The most important is student can feel comfortable during the class, and probably the teacher can, provide more tools in order to work, very well, and they can learn more, right? This writing skill, right? This is very important. Probably spelling, they can make a good spelling, during the these activities. A teacher can give soon good feedback during the class, right? I think this is part of the process. Thank you for your attention. Um, blessing to you. Thank you so much.